Unfortunately, a lot of people, even if they initially want to get into real estate investment because they know that it's a great way to build wealth, which it really is, they get turned on to the wrong people taking the wrong advice, and next thing you know, they're painting over cockroaches and are slumlords. It's not a good place to be a slumlord. I wouldn't want to be a slumlord. But great way to make money. You can be very ethical. You can help a lot of people out, solve a lot of problems for people. And that's really what real estate investment is. As I mentioned earlier in the live, I was a general contractor for a long time, 10 years, 12 years, 20 total, but part of that was a handyman, so I don't really count that. Um, and the thing is that, you just got to put in the value and take the time and energy to do things right. And that's not what a lot of investors are taught. They're taught, hey, you can go buy this house under value and turn around and sell it. But a lot of those investors don't find the deals on their own. And so they're not doing the evaluations. They're not doing the numbers on their own. They're not doing the calculations on their own just because they don't know how. Or if they're given those, even if they do know how, they don't then go and verify because they give too much accreditation to people. They assume that these people that they're going to their network meetings all are being honest and forthright. But that's not necessarily that those people aren't being honest or forthright. It's just that if you're a brand new wholesaler and you're trying to wholesale deals, how do you know what the real repair costs are going to be? How do you know what the real holding costs are going to be? How do you know any of that information if you've never done any kind of real estate? So I think there's just a lot of players that are trying to do things in real estate investment without actually becoming experts, without actually learning all the information that you need to know in order to be an expert in real estate. I hope that nobody's asking me questions. I don't think they have. I'm not really sure how to check. So if you've written something and I haven't answered it, just because I can't figure out technology. Maybe I look older than I am or younger than I am. I'm not sure, but I only started text messaging 10 years ago. So we've just now worked our way into being able to hit this live thing, but I don't really know. God, I sound old as shit right now. All right, anyway, real estate. Let's talk about that instead of my elder care. The thing that I like about real estate is the same thing that frustrates me about real estate. The thing I like about real estate is that really is a low bar to entry. There's so many different elements to investing in real estate that a lot of people just think, oh, I got to have all this money to put into real estate in order to make any kind of profit. But there's tons of people with houses that are just sitting there abandoned that they can't do anything with because they also are in a bad way. And they're having to work, 60, 70 hours a week just to keep the house. And nobody's living in it, but they don't want to lose it, but they don't have the money to fix it. Approach someone like that and say, hey, listen, I'd like to buy your house, owner finance it to me. Give me a couple months to make my first payment, and then go find some other person that can't find a piece of property, can't find a deal, and they got a little bit of money, and partner with them on it. That's a low bar to entry, right? Be a service. The thing that I find humorous is most of the trades that are servicing investors are actually making more than the investors. The guy installing the flooring, is taking a day and a half, 2 days to put in flooring in a house, and he's making a couple $1,000. Well, this investor has spent months dealing with this, and when it's all said and done, most of those investors are only making $20,000-$30,000. There's ones that are making way more than that, of course, but the average, I would say, is between $20,000 and $30,000. And so do the math, and over time, the guy doing the flooring is making more money off of that investment of time into that project. So that's what I mean by a low bar of entry. You can be in service of the investor and make a lot of money. You don't have to actually be doing the investment. And the nice thing is, I flipped 1,000 houses for other people before I even flipped my first house. I was the handyman, the contractor, low man on the totem pole, but I got to learn what it is that these investors were doing right and wrong. And as a result of being able to learn what these investors were doing that were right and wrong, it made me better, and it made me more confident to do what needed to be done the right way without having to have some mentor or guru tell me how to do it. I just knew from experience. I saw the result of overspending on projects. I saw the result of underspending on projects. So anyway, I think that's about it for me. I might do a live again at some point, but I would probably figure out how to operate everything beforehand. I think it makes more sense. Sometimes I like to just jump in and figure it out. And it worked out okay, I guess. We'll see. Be blessed. Bless others. Later.